Don't be alarmed, we're Negroes.
Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy Rodney383, Anime Real Talk TV, and today, you know who I got with me? My boy Ziploc Gory.
What's up, people? Time for another episode of Game of Thrones. A pretty exciting episode at that.
You know what? Blackwater battle. Let's get it, man. And I gotta tell you, like, just the opening scene, the music really set the tone. You know, the soldiers were kind of like, you could see the scared soldiers. You know, someone was earling everywhere, fucking throwing up and stuff. So you know, you seen that nervous battle jitters that, you know, one might get, I should say, you know. Yeah, but yeah, the music in this was you know, setting the tone. Pretty epic stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the music with it.
Now, when you start off, you got Shay and Tyrion, and they're in the bed, you know, they're talking and stuff. And you know, you get a little I like the honesty between them two, you know, because you know, she asks, "Hey, are you afraid?" And you know, a real man. I mean, I'm a man's man, the manliest manly man, and I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna rip some heads off and bust nuts. And you know, he gave the honest answers. Of course, I'm scared, nigga. Fuck you mean? Shit.
Yeah.
To all the people out there, shit. Fuck out there with that shit, man. I'm a half man. So you know, and I thought that was very, you know, it was very real of him to you know, give it to her straight like that. And also her, like, devotion to him, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't know. I like the character, but I question how you can be devoted that fast. I mean, on some horse shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. I really, like I said before, it's so hard to trust people, and I really don't trust Shay. I mean, I want to trust her. I want to believe her love for Tyrion is true and all that, but I think she just with Tyrion for the money, obviously. And when, you know, when the shit really hits the fan, it's like I think she's just gonna bail out and be like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
And you know, one thing that really got me thinking, like, oh well, she might be playing him, is that she still hasn't, like, told her past, even for the first season. So Tyrion still doesn't know nothing about her. She's unwilling to talk about it, blah blah blah, and that's highly suspect to me. You know?
Exactly. Especially that scene with Cersei. That really was like, you know, Cersei, you know, she was like, "I know this one." Then she came up to her and she bowed to her, but she bowed in the wrong way. She showed her how to do it the right way. She was like, "How long have you been at Westeros?" And she said for about 10 years. And then she went on, was like, "You've been here for 10 years." Cersei was like, "You've been here for 10 years and you don't know how to do the proper bow." That's real suspect. So, and then she was gonna tell her backstory, but she was interrupted. But yeah, I'm really suspect of Shay, especially you know that we don't know her past.
Yeah, and Cersei also mentioned that, well, I knew a person from where you were from, or whatever the case, and you know, Shay gave a little smile, like, but she said, well, she was a highborn woman, though. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if Shay is highborn, but played herself down to get away from that world. I don't know. You know, because I don't think that's probably likely, because she's with Tyrion trying to get back into that highborn type of style. So I don't think that's the thing. But maybe from where she comes from, she was abused or something like that. I don't know. Speculation. Let's move on. Now,
Yeah.
you got the Grand Meister talking to Cersei, and this is the first time we see him since Tyrion chopped off his beard. You know, so this is the first time we see him. But he gives Cersei some, like, poison. I guess technically it's not poison, because you lose, just like anything. You use too much, it'll hurt you. From the beginning, I was wondering what she was gonna do with that.
Yeah, same here.
I'm like, well, you know, we see exactly with her and her son what she was willing to do, you know.
Yeah, you know, I guess at the moment of last desperation, she was gonna be like, "I'm not gonna let him rape me and kill my son, so let's just go out the easy way," you know. Little bitch lion that she is, you know.
And in actuality, she chose the little boy, her youngest son. She didn't have Joffrey there, which she could have called him and had him there.
Right.
In actuality, the little boy is all she has left that's untainted and pure, I would say.
E- Exactly.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that because that's already at the end. But also, I never noticed the kind of animosity that the Hound has for Braun. I don't know. I never noticed it. It seems like Braun isn't doing anything rather different than anybody else would. I mean, he doesn't wear the king's cloaks and all of that other shit, but I mean, I don't know. What's up with the hounds, you know?
Yeah, that was weird. I'm like, okay, you got a war that's about to start, and y'all want to I mean, you want to duke it out with Braun? I'm like, why? Like, I was agreeing with what Braun was saying. He was like, we got women here, we got nice drinks, just join us and chill out. And this motherfucker, like, man, I'm a killer, you a killer, we the same. Let's just do it right now. I'm like, seriously? But his character in this episode was really interesting too, especially the turn he made on the battlefield.
Yeah, we gonna get it. Yeah, that was interesting. Also I love Braun and Tyrion's like kind of light-hearted banter before war. Even though they
Hmm.
knew the situation, they were still jabbing jokes at each other, and I thought that just played more to their character and just kind of like they're like the perfect duo. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
like I really do. At first, I had some hesitations or had my reservations about Braun at first because he was a mercenary, so he'd do anything for the money. But now at this point, I really do think that he has somewhat of even though in the first season it's like he ain't had no honor and the guy fought honorably, he didn't. But I do think he has some type of code. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he'll betray Tyrion anytime soon, I should say.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know, man. I like the character. He's a cool character. He's great and all. But yeah, he did some really cool shit in this episode. But yeah, I think when the time comes, he's probably gonna betray Tyrion or something like that. But yeah, I did like the banter between the two. I thought it was really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing where those two characters go.
Oh yeah. Also, Lord Varys talks to Tyrion, and like Lord Varys, he's not he's almost a different character in a way than when he started. I think that little him and Littlefinger going back and forth on treacherous backstabbery really outshines how he is now because he seems to like Tyrion where he is on the throne, and what he wants to see Tyrion like rise above. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
he kind of believes in Tyrion in a way, and we also find out that there is a tunnel, like a tunnel route under the kingdom. So if they had to make an escape, they could do that. That option was on the table right there.
I like the backstory he was telling about. He asked Tyrion, "You don't believe in magic and all that?" Because he was like, Stannis has the witch, or I don't think he said witch, but he has a lady Melisandre, and I've heard some things about her. And Tyrion is just very practical. He's like, "No, I don't believe in all that bullshit." But
Hmm.
I did find it interesting. And also I'm wondering where the hell Melisandre is. Like, we haven't seen her since she gave birth to that. Like, is she still alive or dead or what?
I
But.
know, and we haven't even seen the shadow creature.
Hmm.
So what's up with that? I was talking with a commenter, through the comments on the last video, and I was thinking like maybe the shadow creature was like, or shadow demon, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it was a one-time use. You go in there,
Hmm.
you kill Renly, and you just evaporate into the wind or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am curious to know where she is, because they haven't even showed her sitting down, praying to the Lord of Light or whatever the case. Um, Davos, his son, talked a lot about the Lord of Light, this episode. So
Yeah, he really seems to be taken to a light with that, trying to convince his father, there's only one true God. But his father's like, hey, whatever, man, we about to go into a war and let's get ready for that.
yeah, and I also, Sansa, she's becoming more clever with her words that she uses. You know,
Mhm.
she you can tell that she can talk circles around Joffrey. It takes Joffrey slow with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She can talk. She can play the word games and talking plain regular, like with no sarcasm behind it. Of course, we know, but just a regular conversational words and whatnot. But it's also exposing Joffrey for being like a coward or whatever the case. She was asking him, "Oh, so you'll be on the front lines then?" No. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
you."
yeah.
Yeah.
He was such a bitch as so and he was like, I want you to kiss my little sword, that little gay ass sword he had. What was it? Heart eater. I'm like, nigga, you ain't shit, man. Get the fuck out of
And
here.
like, I was like, man, watch this bitch like flip the blade up and cut her on the lip or something, like, because I wouldn't
Yeah, I
put it
was
past.
expecting something to happen like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. He's scared. He was scared shitless, man. When he got outside and he seen the chaos and horses running everywhere, people running back and forth, not recognizing him and giving him his kingly space because we're in battle. This
Yeah.
motherfucker was scared. He was looking around like a little ass kid.
He was like, "Where's the ships at?" And then Tyrion was like, "Dude, calm down, motherfucker. Just calm down, little boy." He was getting all shaky and just showing that he's a bitch made punk. That's what he is.
Yeah. So now, just touch on this for a bit. Cersei and Sansa and all of the other maidens, queens, maidens, and women of the castle, the women that actually worth a shit, are held up in a room, protected or whatever. And also, the man who cut off Ned Stark's head is there, right?
I believe so.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, because that's the one that Sansa was like, well, why is he here?
Mhm.
And I don't, I don't get. I really don't understand Cersei's fascination with making her uncomfortable. First of all, you trying to get a little ass girl drunk, which may not be uncommon for the time, but I found it excessive. Then you're, just constantly playing games, telling her stories that aren't true. Oh, well, he gonna rape you for real. Like, I was lying at first. No, he'll rape all of us. Like, it's like, come on, sir. Like, you're trying to make her like you, make her think like you.
That's exactly. Somebody made a comment in the last video that in the book Cersei is really, 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 really paranoid. So I think that was they were showing that in the show in this episode that showing her paranoia and she's using that and she's lashing out. That's her kind of way of lashing out on Sansa. She can't really. I mean, she could do it to pretty much anyone in the room, but she chose Sansa, because she kind of sees a little bit of herself in Sansa. So she's like, let me bitch ass this girl to release my anger and frustration and all the stuff, my
In,
fear and all that on her.
in, in a drunken stupor. Yeah.
Mhm.
And back to Shay, and you can see in the background, it was blurred out, but you can see that Shay was looking in that direction, and the Queen noticed that, and Shay probably had a look on her face like, man, I would love to stab this bitch in the throat, but
Mhm.
so that's why she got called up and recognized or talked to by the Queen or whatever case. So but the Queen is fucking it was ridiculous. Now,
Yeah.
outside on the battlefield, we actually see what Tyrion planned to do with the wildfire, which was kind of clever, I have to say.
Yeah. Shit was well planned out, and when the shit hit, I mean, when the shit exploded, I'm not gonna lie, that shit looked kind of cool, beautiful and
It
shit.
did.
The green fire, that was well done. That was epic. Very nice.
And not only did it burn stuff, it's like that one ship. It looked like some Dragon Ball Z shit. It was like somebody had a
Yeah.
fireball and it was like disintegrating like all through the ship, like da, 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 like it was just disintegrating into nothing. Like the shit was pretty epic, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough though, wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that as many thousands of jars they put all of that seemingly into one ship. You know what I'm saying? I would have thought they could spread that out a little.
Yeah, I'm guessing Tyrion wanted to take him out in one stroke, but wasn't able to work out for him that way. But I gotta still say that was a really smart plan. But Stannis is like, man, fuck it. Follow me and we're gonna take this city, and they went in. I mean, shit was berserk, badass, Lord of the Rings type shit. It was great. And Stannis was going in. I mean, I didn't think he. I mean, I knew he knew how to fight and shit. But usually, the kings, they lay back and let their men do the thing. But I guess him being Robert's brother and hanging around Ned and all of them, he knows how to throw down too. So it was his sword play was nice.
He was going in, man. It was super gory. It was a guy that got his head crushed by a big ass boulder right in front of Stannis, and the blood splattered on him. The Hound was chopping motherfuckers in half like guts. Man, I mean, is this berserk? What's going on here? I was like, man, you just chopped him in half with one stroke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one motherfucker got like his head chopped off, like around his mouth area. I'm like, damn, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. I was like, man, this was gory stuff. Yeah, I loved it, Hey, but let's talk about the Hound. He starts to get into a bit of a daze, I didn't understand what that was about. It seemed as if he was battle tested, I should say. He's had a couple battles under his belt, so none of the shit that he was saying was out of the ordinary from what he used to say. I didn't understand what made him, dizzy or dazed like that.
Yeah, he seemed like he was becoming fearful, or I wouldn't say he was afraid, but he just like, I think maybe he was realizing that, what, fuck Joffrey and all of that, and let me just go back in.
And in fact, Joffrey and Tyrion confront him and say, hey, get back on the battlefield. This motherfucker, and I quote, fuck the king's guard, fuck the city, and fuck the king. I was like, oh, nigga! Joffrey ain't say shit. I was like, you bitch me. Yeah.
He was waiting to say that forever, And I'm still wondering what his motives are though, because that was a little strange.
And Joffrey, he shows definitively that he's a boy. He ain't ready for this. And Tyrion steps up. Joffrey is called back to King's Landing by his mom, which he the king, so an honorable king would have overridden that whole thing and stayed there with his troops. But he was scared. He told a guy in a suit of armor, which face we didn't see, to stay there and hold it down for the king. Okay, we'll get to that nigga later. Now, Tyrion steps up. And this is contrary to what Cersei believes and probably what a lot of other people believe, unless you read the books, then you know for a fact. But Tyrion, his whole thing wasn't to put Joffrey online to kill Joffrey or to get Joffrey killed or whatever the case. He stepped up when Joffrey didn't. Why would he do that if he wasn't to, you should never tell your people to do something that you're not willing to do. Just like in the army. Never make your men do something that you're not willing to do. And he stepped up, and I was like, this nigga going in. After, at he got his little gory in, half man. I was like, oh shit. And, and the part comes up when, tell the part about, what happened to Tyrion at the very last second there.
Yeah, so, he was out in the battlefield, got the soldiers riled up, and then he went out, and then some motherfucker who we don't know came up, and he was working for the Lannisters and stuff like that, but Tyrion looks up at him, and he just tries to kill Tyrion. He got sliced in his face, and he falls down, and I was like, okay, what was that about? That was very... I'm thinking that's the King's, the mountain, or somebody a part of the King's Guard. Maybe Cersei had somebody secretly go out to the battle, and when shit was over, they was gonna be like, kill Tyrion.
That's what I was thinking. The Cersei probably set that up. But shout outs to the Squire boy, coming up behind homeboy and jabbing him in the throat with a fucking javelin or whatever he had. The Squire boy. I was like, yo, homeboy went in. You know what I'm saying? That's good shit.
Yeah,
Treat that man with the utmost respect from now on. You are no longer a squire boy. You will wear gold and white. Yes, yes. You know, I thought that was bad. I thought that was badass, man. Shit.
yeah, he was going in. He did his thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, and the fact that earlier, Lord Varys asked Tyrion, did Tyrion trust that the boy, you know what I'm saying, that was helping him put his armor on and stuff. And I thought it was random that he came out and like stabbed the dude, but you know, yeah, you better trust that nigga now. He that boy. You know, yeah, hey, he
Uh-huh.
going in. You know what?
That's what's up.
Hey, shout outs to Sansa for calming down all of the women in there in that little room, because Cersei was of no use and of no help. Fucking you know, when dude came in there and he was saying, oh, they've been attacked, they've won, and all this other bullshit. And you know, she actually kept her cool, you know, more than, you know, anybody would have expected her to do. You know, I wouldn't have expected her or really held her to that standard of being that person to calm other women down. But she stepped up and did that, you know, and the queen didn't. You know, at that point, the queen has lost all hope. It's a wrap.
Just like in recent episodes, her Stark is that Ned Stark is starting to come out, and she was like, you know what? I'm a wolf, so let me show you how it's done. You know how we do things. We don't scare up and bitch up and shit like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting also with the Hound. You know, basically Shay told her to go to her room and stay safe and all that, and then we find out that the Hound is in there, and you know, I thought their conversation was really interesting. He seems to have a certain, like I suspected earlier, he seems to have a certain soft spot for Sansa. You know, I mean, he's much older than her, but he probably, you know, back in that time period and whatnot, he's like, I got feelings for her, and you know, shit like that.
I mean, I don't think it was on some love stuff or something like that, because he seen he was in on all of the decisions up until Ned's death. You know, when Ned got there, Ned was being watched. Ned got his head chopped off. He probably knew the inners of Joffrey being not of Robert Baratheon. So all of that he knew. So he knows that Ned Stark was done unjustly, thus leaving Sansa in a fucked up situation. And he even offers to take her back to Winterfell, which kind of puts the whole like I'm gonna take it for myself type of logic out of it in my mind, you know, because you know he's willing to send her home. Now obviously they haven't been getting the ravens and stuff, so they don't know that Winterfell was taken over by Theon.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't know that information. But you know, I think in that instance when he offered to take her home and Sansa was like, you're not gonna hurt me, you know what I'm saying, because she was seemingly preparing, oh, I'm gonna be raped to all bloody hell, aren't I? No, you're not gonna hurt me? Cool. Yes, please don't hurt me. And I think in that instance she realized, you know, if I think about it, all this time he was helping me, like, you know, all of these situations that he was getting me out of and things that I was gonna do or say, and he stopped me from doing or saying, you know, or pulled me out of situations. He was helping me, you know what I'm saying? And I think that she just came to that realization that, hey, she's not, you know, all bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you probably right about that. You know, it's probably not a love thing, but I think he definitely does have some type of feeling. Maybe it's not the type of love where he's like, you know, I want to marry you and shit, you know, fuck you and all that. Maybe it's just like a father-daughter type of relationship, or older brother, little sister type of deal, you know, something like that. So definitely interested to see where that dynamic is gonna go when they leave King's Landing, or if they're able to.
Yeah, I wonder what his motivations are in terms of, did he have a daughter that was done wrong? Maybe he had situations of family members that was done similarly cruel or whatever. Maybe he empathizes with her situation because of, just people done wrong. Like, what is he just trying to be nice? Is he doing it to make up for something that happened in his life earlier? I mean, I'm just curious as to why he didn't say, fuck it, I'm doing my job. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. So that's interesting. Now we're gonna move on to the end. Now, Cersei is talking to her son. I forget his
Me too.
name, but yes, and in this episode, you can clearly see his hair and it's more blonde. So I stand corrected again. So, it's like she talks to the son. Is really talking some encouraging words, calming him down. Obviously, they're in the castle. The son doesn't know exactly how fucked up it is outside because he's not freaking out like a little boy like him would. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she's just consoling him, telling him, oh, he's gonna be the best king, and she plans on killing him with that poison. Maybe she want to send him to the afterlife with fond memories.
Yeah.
And and who knows if she was gonna kill herself with it. Also, probably so.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking she's gonna do.
So, but then out of nowhere, go ahead and go in.
The man himself comes back, the top tier lion. Yeah, he's come back, and Tywin has come back, and he just goes in. I mean, him and his man come back at the nick of time and just start destroying Stannis' fleet just as they was winning. And Stannis is just like, fuck, no. He's like, pissed off, and he's, depressed. Not depressed, but he's just disappointed and all that, and he has to retreat. And Tywin comes in the room to see Cersei, and Cersei drops the poison, and he's like, the battle's won. And she's like, father, and episode pretty much ends right there.
Now, also, was the Tyrell boy there? Renly's lover, Loras. Was that Loras with him?
I don't.
Could it seem like?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they would do that because they hate the Lannisters. So yeah, I stand corrected. It's probably not Loras.
Yeah,
but
that's
you know
right.
what
I
I mean.
forgot about the Tyrells. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because they wanted to conquer and go against the Lannisters. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you picking sides. You're like, okay, it's either Stannis or go with the Lannisters. You know what I'm saying? So if you had to pick sides, maybe you pick the right side. I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably just wrong on that. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty entertaining episode. Especially, man, the fights in here. Like, it really, I'm telling you, motherfuckers was getting chopped in half. Heads was rolling.
Yeah, they stepped their game up with the action and shit in here, the violence, all that.
I know.
Y'all been waiting for that. Y'all got it.
Man,
I also did like the ending song, the Lion song. I thought that was pretty cool. Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. At first, I was like, what the hell is this? But then I realized, oh, this must be the song that Bronn was singing with the Lannisters, well, with the fleet or whatever the case. So it's pretty I thought it was pretty awesome. Like, and they was like, the Lannister song, like they was talking about with Bronn, and that shows Bronn's I guess his adaptability or his travelness. I don't know what to say, but he's been around, and he probably knows more songs from different kingdoms and different houses because he's been all around. He's a mercenary, everyman. So yeah, I thought that just added to his character's uniqueness, I should say. He got a lot of different layers to him, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So, and he makes good sense. You know what I'm saying? He's not talking out of his ass. I mean, he's really, despite his laid back demeanor, he has good strategy, good battle.
He a street smart motherfucker. That's what he is.
Yes, he's a street smart person. Yeah. So that's pretty good, man. Hey, awesome episode. This was episode 9. Hey, next week it's gonna be the last episode, man. How you feel about
season finale? Man, I don't know. Pretty good shit so far.
Oh yeah. Now next week we're gonna have the last episode, as you guys already know. You already know what it is. But also, we're gonna get together a video. I'm not gonna, it's gonna be Game of Thrones related. I'm not gonna give too much details on that, but we're working on something. So probably a couple of days after the last episode, we'll have another Game of Thrones video up, involving some other people, I should say, and a discussion will take place. And you guys are gonna want to get down on that. So yeah, this is Rodney 383. Holla at your boy.
It's your boy Ziploc Gory, and shit was gory. See y'all next week.
It was gory.
It was.
Oh, put it in a Ziploc. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh.